Good evening, football fans. This is not a broadcast, unfortunately. This is actually some pretty bad news when it comes to the Titans franchise. Now, what you guys need to understand about the Tennessee Titans franchise is I did it as an owner mode. And I didn't just continue it with the Titans' current owner, whoever that is. I'm not even sure who that is. What I did is I created a new owner. I started with the financial mogul, however you say that. I started with that background, so you start with like 6 million funds, which to be honest is way too low to start out with, because I mean, if you're gonna buy an NFL franchise, you're gonna have more than $6 million. And also, since I did that create a guy thing, I made him Buddy Garrity, and the Titans are a bad team. And the thing about owner mode is, the difference between owner mode and just creating a coach is you do all the same things as a coach, except you also set the prices for everything. You set the prices for the food, the merchandise like jerseys, memorabilia, stuff like that, and the tickets. And you can also upgrade the stadium, upgrade the facilities, stuff like that. And the whole point of that is so you have total control of the team. And since you're the owner, you have to be able to make the money in order to spend it on these players in the offseason. And now, that wouldn't be a big deal if I just chose a regular owner. If I just chose a regular owner and I had a whatever, how many, like they give you like $60 million or something to start out with when you're a regular owner, depending on what owner you are, obviously. But still, you have a really good amount of money to start out with because you're already an established owner. But when you start out as a new one, it gives you $6 million to start out with as the financial mogul background story. So, the point being is that since the Titans are a very, very bad team, and they just lose, and they lose some more, and right when you think they might turn it around, they lose. And because of that, they have no popularity, there's no team success. Nobody sells jerseys, nobody comes to the games. When people do come to the games, they don't buy anything, you don't make enough money. And because of that, you're not making enough money when you're at home to make a profit, because when you're on the road, you're just losing more money and you're not selling jerseys. Because on the Titans, at least for me, the most popular player in jersey sales was Zach Mettenberger. And as you can imagine, Zach Mettenberger is not going to be racking in a whole bunch of jerseys and a whole bunch of merchandise. So as a result of that, we were in debt the entire season. We had negative funds the entire season, and I've been thinking about this the entire season I've played it, because I've already played, as you can see, I've got, what you guys have in front of right now is just the free agent signings and the re-signed player signings, and I'll get into that in a bit, but that's just there in the background while I'm talking about this. So this entire season, I've already played it, and all season long, until I got to this point, I did not know if the negative funds thing was going to play an issue in the offseason. If it was, you weren't going to be able to re-sign your players, because during the season, you can't sign a free agent unless you have at least, like, a few $100K or, like, $0. Like, you have to have at least positive funds. So I get to the offseason, I'm like, okay, I have a bunch of cap room, because that's not the issue. It's not that I'm out of cap, because that's easy to fix. You just release a few players, you let players go. It's easy to fix cap room. But with this negative funds thing, they make it literally impossible to fix when you're with a team with a created owner, especially a team that's bad. Especially in a small market team that's bad like the Tennessee Titans. And then moving to a new city would not fix anything, because you have to, especially with this, because I would have to wait another season in Tennessee where I'm losing even more money, because one, I wouldn't be able to re-sign anyone anyway. So I have negative funds, so I can't re-sign anyone. That's the main thing here. I can't re-sign my players, so I had to let them all walk into free agency, except for Jarrell Casey, because I franchise tagged him and they allow that apparently. So, everyone but Jarrell Casey goes into free agency. At the end of free agency, absolutely no one was signed. So what happened after free agency, and once I got to the draft, my team was literally like just a bunch of 70 overalls, 60 overalls who didn't have their contracts run up, with the occasion of like guys who had like one more year left in their deal, like Kendall Wright, and guys who have been signed long-term already, like Jason McCourty and people like that. So then I get to the draft, I do the draft, and what happens? We draft all these guys, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to sign them. And apparently when you do the draft, it signs all your players for you when you do the draft. It doesn't even give you an option. It says, like, oh, sign draft prospects, but you go to sign draft prospects, you hit actions on that player, and the only action it gives you is to view the player card. At least that's how it was for me. So it automatically signed everyone for me, and even though I had in the settings, sign automatically, like sign draft prospects, sign people automatically, I have that off. So even though I had that off, it did it automatically. And because it did that, and I didn't have anybody who I actually wanted from free agency, anybody who actually wanted to re-sign, and I just have a bunch of rookies who automatically signed, and it put me in even bigger debt. By the end of the offseason, I had like negative $15 million. And well, that is a ginormous hole, and I'm not getting out of it. It's never going to happen. So I've already decided I will 100% be ending the Titans franchise. The only decision that's left to be made is when I end the Titans franchise. Because this is just impossible. You can't get out of this debt, you can't re-sign people, you can't sign people in free agency, and you just get even more debt, and you're not making money to get out of debt. So you're just in an impossible situation, at least that's how it is for me, and I've seen a lot of other people who have had this issue too. I've looked in tons of forums, on like Madden's website, Operation Sports, and I've looked through tons of forums, and everyone who has done the create a coach thing and create a owner thing and done their own owner for the most part is having this huge issue like that. Not guys who have started out as Jerry Jones, obviously, because they're Jerry Jones, but for the most part I've seen people have these ridiculous issues with negative funds just like I'm having. So I've 100% decided I will be ending the franchise. Like I said, it's just a matter of when I end it. Would you guys want to see me continue at this season, which I'm not gonna try not to spoil anything, but it's not a pretty season. We don't win very much, if at all, for the rest of the season. I'm not even sure, to be honest. But I do know that we are a very, very bad team, and it's not going anywhere. I can tell you we're not going to the playoffs, and I'm pretty sure no one expected the Titans to make the playoffs. So I can either finish out this awful season and then end it, or I can just end it right now. Whatever, I'm thinking I'm in week 8 or something is where I am. I could just end it in week 8 and then just not even worry about posting more videos. I could just concentrate on a different Madden franchise because I already have one started. I already have a Falcons franchise started, and that will be my main focus. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing with the Raiders. The Raiders never really got my interest as much as I would like to. And one thing I do want to mention is I'm not the type of guy who just full out just doesn't commit to something. Because when I commit to something, I commit to it. So like with the Astros, I had full plans on doing that for as long as possible, but it was just that unfortunate accident that made it so I couldn't continue it. But with the Pirates, I'm dedicated with the Pirates. I've been doing the Pirates. And it's just with the Raiders, it seemed people weren't interested with the Raiders because of the fantasy draft and people like rebuilding more. And that's what I did with it. And now with this Titans thing, it's basically the game screwing me over. So I did this Falcons one, and I made a coach, and so it's going to be way easier because all I have to do is just coach. I don't have to worry about making money. I just have to sign my players with the money my team already has. I just have to worry about cap room. That's all I have to do. So that is definitely something that I would rather do than worry about making money. So I have the Falcons franchise already played. I've played a few games. I'm not too far into the games, but I've played like a few weeks. I've already got started out. I've got the games recorded. So I'm going to put a straw poll in the description. One option will be, do you want me guys to end the Titans as just episode 8, week 8 is the last episode, it just ends, or you guys want to see this awful season just progress, just me lose game after game, but just keep doing the broadcast just to finish out the season. It's up to you guys. The link for the straw poll will be in the description. I'll probably be tweeting it out too if you want to follow me there. It'll be on Twitter. So the option with the most votes will be what I'm doing, and I'm gonna wait like a day, 2, maybe 3, and then at the end of those 1, 2, 3 days, I'll choose the winner, not the winner, the one with the most votes, and that'll be what I'm doing. So hopefully you guys aren't too disappointed with this Titans thing. I'm disappointed about it because I really wanted to see what I could do with the Titans, but the game, I guess, wants to screw me over. So that's the dealio, that's what's going on. That's the update of the Titans franchise. Once again, I do apologize. I'm not the type of guy who, once I commit to a franchise, I just screw it all up and do something like that, but it happened, and that's pretty much it for the update. I'm JerseyBorn, and I'm saying goodbye.